Yeah, just in time for the train whistle to go off. Brilliant. All right, here we are. Woohoo, rocking and rolling in Fayetteville. Throw a little more video in here. Give you guys a perspective if you've never been to Fayetteville. Dang, got some loud ass trains there. All right, here we go. Thank you, Skylar.
Hey guys.
Howdy.
Four. Alright, you guys want to do a food? You want to do a high top or steel line? High top. High top.
All right, here we are. Hi. Good, thanks. All right. Protect the innocent. We're all here. We'll take a break till we get our drinks.
Yeah, prophylactic kind of things. So it's like, because we're not exposed to those...
Prophylactic.
Like not prophylactic.
Preventative. Prophylactic means preventative.
I hear phallic.
But because we're not exposed to like the worms and stuff like that, they have nothing to do. Our basophils, eosinophils, mast cells have nothing to do. So they just
Fight off something.
they find something
random.
that's foreign, which technically everything we eat is foreign, and they make antibodies against it. And
Everything
then
I eat is made in America.
bang, allergies.
Ain't eat no foreign food.
allergies.
American Taco
So-
Bell.
But with that logic, that would mean like, obviously it depends on what you're exposed to, but to a degree, everybody would have the same allergies?
No, it's because it depends on what you're exposed to. For people who spend more time, everyone is exposed to dirt and worms at some point in time, right? So
We used to eat them when I was a
there's
kid.
a lot of evidence that like playing in sand, like, you know, a lot of people say don't play in sand because like that's where birds shit and all that kind of stuff. But it's actually a lot of evidence that it boosts your immune system and makes you less likely to have allergies. That's why there's so much research right now currently about ingesting helminth worms and it reducing asthma and allergies.
See, that's why I never wash my hands. I piss on my hands after I go. Because
Smart.
build your immune system, man.
It's sterile and I like the taste.
Fun fact, it's not sterile. That is a common misconception.
Horrible.
It's a joke. It's from Dodgeball.
Listen. Do I drink urine because it's necessary? No. I do it
Necessary.
anyway. It's sterile.
Necessary to drink my own urine? Oh, but I'll do it anyway.
I don't know. I think there's something there, Shay, but I think that's a broad generalization. I
Right.
think that can apply to a lot of things.
Well, I think it...
Lack of exposure can lead to increased incidence of things because
Yeah, but there is evidence specifically for worms and asthma. There's currently like a lot of research going into it. Why third world countries rarely have food allergies.
Because no one
asthma.
cares. They don't have food. How can they have food allergies?
But you also have to appreciate that maybe it's not as well documented. You
It
know,
could also be genetic.
I'm sure there's a huge genetic
There is for asthma.
I mean, I don't know if you did. Me and you both had asthma as kids, right? Me and Skylar both had asthma as kids.
What's that?
We had asthma as kids. Me and Skylar, right? Because I remember we had to use the nebulizer.
No, that had to do with pollen.
Pollen.
It was because he nearly choked to death one night. We were at Steve's baseball game, and the pollen was like you could see it in the air coming out of the trees, and he got this big like mucus ball in his throat, and I had to beat it out of him.
I almost choked him to death on Wendy's, on our neighbor's trampoline once. Do you remember that?
Physically, you were choking.
Yeah. Your eyes were bulging out of your head. I don't know what made me so mad, but I did not.
Repress that trauma, so I didn't
Yeah.
turn into a weirdo later on. But no, I don't recall that.
Oh, well, I think it killed the proper amount of brain cells to make you just the perfect human being, you know?
Cal and I both had eczema.
Eczema?
You both had what?
Eczema. Eczema.
Eczema.
That's Dad. That's Dad's shitty genes. He's got
No,
all
no,
the,
I
your
guess
skin
He
right.
is-
doesn't have eczema. He has psoriasis.
It's all the same thing.
Although I do
Flaky,
have a little bit of what I
scaly
think is
skin,
cradle
lizard
cap. Like in the back of behind my ear.
How are your hands
Probably
doing?
psoriasis.
No, because the psoriasis medicine is taking it away everywhere else. Why wouldn't it take them? Why wouldn't the Taltz work on that? So I think it could be eczema. It could be I don't know, what other stuff do you get back there? Some kind of fungus. I think it's probably some kind of fungus.
How's your hands doing, Pop? Because I remember you used to have to not splitting or anything like that. You haven't had to put on gloves filled with coconut oil and shit.
No, not since I've been taking the Taltz.
Nice.
Like 2 years now, and
I remember that used to be your big source of pain.
Don't you
Constantly
remember me
getting
like
back.
bleeding all
Oh, yeah,
over
you
everything on the
split.
boat?
Bleeding on the boat? I remember you bleeding on everything. Cutting yourself for any reason. The guy would get a stiff wind would blow by and he'd slice his fucking arm open on it.
It's not fun. And I really don't want to ever have to deal with it again, so I hope that, which reminds me I gotta send in my Taltz paperwork, because I've got about a 2-month supply at home, but I gotta get renewed. So every year you have to get renewed through Lily Care for the poor people's Taltz. I mean, you can pay $14,000 a month or go to Lily Care.
It's not a clinical trial anymore, right? Like, you're beyond that, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
No,
it's an approved medication?
I was the clinical trial.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So it's like an approved medication now, though, right?
Yes.
So why doesn't insurance cover it?
Insurance can cover what they want to cover for.
Why doesn't who have it?
I said, why doesn't insurance cover it?
They might, but if you make under a certain, like if you make under $50,000 a year, Lily Care gives the Taltz and the Trulicity to you for free. So
Oh, okay.
that's me.
Well, they get kickbacks for that kind of shit, you know. So it's not like it's entirely altruistic. But yeah, insurance legally, insurance only has to cover one medication from each like style of medication. One, you know, the mechanism, like it treats this. Legally, the insurance company only has to pay for one medication that treats this.
Even if you've tried that and it didn't work?
Yeah,
Well,
so at that point, you would require a PA and all this other stuff, and they could still, but they would have to like go out of their way to approve to pay it instead of it just be a blanket like, yeah, you got it.
Right.
So hoops. Essentially.
Well, there's like all these medicines, these biologics that now they were put out for one thing, like Humira for Crohn's disease, and now it covers like about 10 other diseases because it's effective as a treatment. So I guess biologics is the way of the future for everything possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything that's coming out new medication
I mean,
wise.
you never know. It might be a cure for cancer.
It certainly could be.
Which one is...
Cancer, it's the one that kills everybody.
Nailed it.
Is it anti-IL-2 or
What are you getting at
the
here?
Humira that he's talking about?
I couldn't tell you.
Well, they've got all these, because they were saying to me, well, have you know, for when I went on the Trulicity, I think they said, I told them I was on the Taltz, they said, have you tried the Enbrel? And I said, well, when I went to apply for it was like $20,000 a month or something like that. And I got to Lily Care, to Taltz, I got through, it just by chance that I found them. And because doctors would say to me, how did you get in this program? And I said, I basically did it myself.
Yeah.
And I took it to a clinic that I went to when I was really poor, and boating days, and they helped me push it through.
You were poor.
I don't know too much. I mean, outside of knowing that they're like biologics and they're monoclonal antibodies. So essentially, you know, it's sort of like a gene splice thing.
It's something against one of the cytokines, like TNF-alpha or IL-2 or...
You got me beat there.
What were we talking about? Humira?
Yeah, Humira or Enbrel.
There's a fucking ton of them now. Skyrizi is a new one.
Yeah, there's a couple. There's a couple of them now that.
Yeah, it's adalimumab, so that's...
But I gotta tell you, from reading stuff on the internet, of course it's true,
Has to be.
that everybody that I hear in the psoriatic arthritis groups raves about the Taltz, the effectiveness.
Well, let's look at what its mechanism of action is.
Well, go ahead, Doc. I'll take your word on
So
it.
you got Lexicon for something?
Huh?
Lexicon? Micromedics?
No, I'm literally just Googling. I googled Humira MOA, and
You don't
on
have
Humira's
like
website,
a you don't have like a drug reference, a drug source on your phone.
not yet.
You can get it through UAMS.
Well, I mean, I don't need it yet.
I use it in school all the time. It's extremely helpful. It tells you like you just type in a drug name and it tells you like indication, proper dosing, any monitoring, all the
I mean,
dose
I'll need it
adjustments.
when I'm like doing clinical.
Sure.
But
You just got to go to
Better
like,
to have it,
UAMS,
not
like,
need it than need it, not have it.
library.
Here's one
online.
thing I'm going to tell you that's my own personal experience, and I'm not saying this will happen to you, but
Love an antidote.
in my mind, that this ultimate state of psoriatic arthritis or whatever, psoriasis, whatever, caused my type 2 diabetes. I'm convinced of that. And I'm convinced that it has morphed through a few different variations. Like it started out as something less severe and then got worse and worse and worse and worse. So, and I can't draw the line in my head, and maybe I should, that something could start out like and morph or build to a crescendo. They kept getting worse and worse and worse. Like if you got it, or you don't, you don't. And maybe I'm thinking wrong, but what's the medical
Certain
opinion?
things, I mean, like autoimmune disorders, like psoriatic arthritis or psoriasis. I mean, yeah, that makes sense that, as you go, essentially your body's attacking itself. The whole causing type 2 diabetes doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Because that's more, your body becomes resistant to insulin based on how much like sugar you've been consuming over time.
Or your pancreas is shutting down.
Yes. Yeah, sure.
That's why I'm doing the whole
If you're just
glipizide.
Do you
not
have other-
producing as much insulin, then yeah. I
do you have
suppose that-
other symptoms of pancreatic malfunction? Do you have fatty stools?
Well, what do you
If your
mean?
pancreas isn't
Are they
working-
big?
No, do they float?
We all float down.
Are they frothy?
No.
Well, then your pancreas is fine.
Then you're probably still
That's pretty cool to
secreting,
know,
like, the
really.
correct
So,
bile.
like if I get a floaty turd, I get go into a full
Not
panic.
not one floaty turd.
Because it could happen. Like
I get floaty turds all the time. but, like,
oh, so
I mean,
sorry
like,
to hear about your pancreatitis.
But like consistently, yeah, it's a thing that should make you think that maybe something with your pancreas or diet, because it could also be dietary. Eating too much fat can obviously do it.
Well, I eat a lot of butter, as you well know. Like my idea of like butter on bread should be at least as thick as cheese. So because it's the same stuff.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you put like a good quarter inch of butter on everything? And the best part is biting into it and have it run down into your beard. I think I saw some in your beard there. I don't know. But I just have this thing in my head that
Alright, we got the smash.
this stuff is it somehow combos up on you.
Consolidate some space there. Put this all right here. That's
Sorry, what was your name again?
my name's Jake. Hello.
Hey, it's okay that I'm videoing you.
Hi there.
It'll be on Will's Walkabout, so
Oh, okay. Great.
on YouTube, of course.
That's where you're saying bird.
What was his name?
Jake.
Jake. Okay. That's what I thought. I didn't know whether it was Jay or Jake.
Could have been Jay.
Take one down, pass it around.
I don't really need those.
There. Do we really need that?
Thank you.
No.
Just, why not? For fun.
All right, I'm gonna shut this down while we eat.